Well, I've cut up a bit of wood. I found a good water supply for my fire extinguisher, and this one's for Lars from Survival Russia. It is the world's smallest Siberian log fire in a baking pan. No, I'm not going to light it like that. Just thought I'd do that. You see all these people, they make all kinds of shelters and debris shelters and tarps. I've got all my tarps and junk with me as well. However, you can build all the debris shelters, lean-tos, Arctic survival, this, that and everything else. The one thing that they're not is mosquito proof. And that tent, although it was only 60 bucks, has that fine mesh on it. And that makes the difference between getting a good night's sleep and being awake every 5 seconds swatting bloody mosquitoes. Right, I'm going to put that wood back in the wood pile. I've cut a little bit of wood. I don't need much because I'm only doing a little bit of cooking, and that's more than enough. It's not an all-night fire. It's not going to be cold tonight. It's only going to be about 12 degrees, I think, so that should be good. I had to do that. That's for Lars of Survival Russia. Have fun. Bye. Right, I've come out into the clearing here a bit. This is actually an approved campfire site. Now, I don't know about you, this thing's about, I don't know, 2'6" round, something like that. And it is absolutely full and surrounded by completely dry and dead grass. There is not a hope in bloody hell I would ever light a fire in that without bringing a weedy whacker with me and clearing all this crap off around it. Look at it. Can you hear that? It's really dry. Yeah. Right. There's more picnic tables over that way. There's only 2 in here. It's a bit of a back into nowhere site. People don't tend to come to this one, I don't think. It's designed for backcountry camping. There is a horse corral over here. Now, the other day I was here, there was a yellow bucket in here. Now, where did that go? Tell you what, in about a week, it's about a week since I've been here, this grass has gone from ridiculously tall and dry to now turning green. Quite amazing, isn't it? You know. There was a big yellow bucket in here the other day. Oh, there it is, over there. Wonder why that's down. Yeah, it was over there and it was full of water. My guess is either somebody's been here with a horse, which I can't see any evidence of, or we've had a bear through here getting curious about yellow buckets. Right. I saw that black bear right down the bottom. This is a bit of a corridor, so they do tend to come down through here. I don't think these horse rails have been used much in quite a while. I'm over in those trees over there, and from here I can't even see that I'm in there. That's good. Right, let's go and find some more firewood. Now, this is the other advantage of having a little baking pan. It keeps the fire nice and small, and the metal gets really hot. So when you're cooking hot dogs, the space on the end is exactly the right size for 2 hot dogs. Let's chuck some more twigs on there, get a bit of heat in. And because you're using such small pieces of wood, you're not actually using a huge amount of like forest resources and stuff like that. The idea is just to make the minimal impact that you can. And by doing it this way, it's good. So you get nice hot dogs because they heat up on the metal. I do have a rack that I bring with me, and they're beginning to sizzle there a little bit. Let's put some more on that end. This is the advantage. So you only need very small amounts of wood to actually cook a nice little meal. That way you're not setting fire to half the bloody forest just to make a cup of tea. Yeah, which I should be making later, a cup of tea. Now, I've brought this along with me just to give this a try. Split some wood. And my trusty Gerber. People take the piss out of those things. Let me tell you, I've just split all that wood that's there. I just split all that wood with that. People take the piss out of them because I think it's because it's Bear Grylls and stuff, but I don't care what anybody says. Go up and make a nice knife. It's perfect for me. Right, my sausages look like they're almost done, especially that one on the far end there. Okay, time to have something to eat. Well, I can vouch for the fact that those hot dogs were extremely nice. Now, mosquitoes are beginning to get up a little bit, so what I've done is I've put a little bit of not so dry wood on there. I found a little bit of green just to create a little bit of smoke. That tends to keep the mosquitoes away. They don't like that crap. Also a lot of wildlife too. That black bear was down the bottom of this valley. They use this as a corridor up through because we find it easy to use a trail, and bears do too. So, that's getting a bit smoky now. Yeah, let's see if we can get a bit of flame in that. There we go. That'll get rid of the smoke. There you go. Mosquitoes had just found me, I think, so I thought I'd smoke the buggers out. You get a little bit of smoke like this sitting in the trees, they don't like it. That's the advantage of having what I call a baking pan fire. Is it encourages you to keep the fire very small anyway. And it's definitely not an overnight fire, it's just a cooking fire. And those little metal pieces on the end work really, really well for cooking hot dogs. I can vouch for the fact that they were really nice. They're now ex-hot dogs, of course. I haven't seen or heard another single solitary person up here. People do come mountain biking up through here. There is a trail that runs over through the forest over that way. It's called the Lusk Trail. And that goes all the way from Powderface out to... oh, what the hell is that? Kananaskis there, by the university side at Kananaskis. In fact, it's going to be a lovely day. I've checked all these trees for deadfall. It all looks pretty good. There's one over there that's leaning at an angle, but it's about 3 trees behind where I've set up the tent. That's why I've put the tent where it is and not further along. If that one decides it's going to fall, and it's the only one that's leaning, if that one falls, it's got plenty of other trees between me and it. But I can tell you now, just sitting here, that's only a little fire. Oh, I see one little ember has popped out the side. I'll have to take care of that. Yeah, I'll pour some water on that in a second. It's one of those things that is chucking off plenty enough heat, especially in this environment at the moment. Right, I'm just going to douse that bit down there. I don't want that burning underneath there. Well, I had to let things die down there a second. We had a bit of a wind event come through. Last thing you want is this blowing around and setting fire to anything. It stays well contained in the pan. And the advantage is, of course, take the water jug, pour an inch of water into the bottom of that pan, that fires out in 2 minutes. Looks like somebody was having a fire in here before, but their choice of logs was a little bit larger than mine. There's no way I'd burn a log that bloody big. Yeah, dangerous, especially in here. Yeah. Well, I must admit, my first thoughts of this tent are actually pretty good. There's not a lot down here in the forest. I can't go too far because I've got the fire going. Yeah. Yep. Probably took me 10 minutes to put that tent up, something like that. Lots of dead branches in there. That's good. I could keep this fire going all right if I wanted to, but I don't think I will. I won't go to sleep and leave a fire going, not unless it's really cold weather. And then if it's really cold weather, you have to. But this is a choice fire, not a survival fire. So, yeah, we don't need to leave that running all night. The smoke is keeping the mozzies down. That's good. Right, do some more later. There's a woodpecker in there somewhere. He's just making one hell of a racket. There he is. People think they're doing that to make holes to live in. They're not. They actually hit the side of the tree. They can tell if there's any bugs underneath it. There's like creatures and what have you that live underneath the bark. And they can tell if they're in there. And when they find one, they see? Yeah, I think he's found one. You can see him through the trees, but I don't think it'll come out very well on the video. He's literally straight up in there. I don't know what kind of woodpecker he is. I've done a very noisy one. Oh, there he goes. He just flew out through there. Cool. They make quite the racket. Well, I'm guessing it's probably afternoon already because the sun's come round that way a bit. I keep topping that up with little twigs. Been sorting out these trees. Some of the old trails through here got kind of knackered. So I've got them going again. Clear these out a bit. It just makes it easy. I don't think anybody's used this site for a long time. But if I come down over here, a lot of deer using this place. There's a good spot. You can fill up with water there. So there's still a little bit of snow. There's patches every now and again. It's not cold. It's anything but cold. It's bloody roasting. Right. This was a bridge. As you can see, there's a walkway across through there. Just goes over to another creek. There's two creeks that kind of join here. There's one over the back of there, and there's one here. This pool here, really handy for filling up with water because I can put my water jug literally right underwater, fill it right up. You can see this bridge has been here a while. Snapped right in half. Yeah. Right. There's a little bit of cloud building, but we're not supposed to get any kind of weather. It's nice to see all these young trees sprouting up out of everywhere. Eh? Well, still I have not seen a single solitary person. Not one. I heard some kind of animal come by just now. I don't think it was a bear. It sounded more like a deer. Bears tend to sound like little bulldozers going through the woods. And deer, they kind of just hop, skip and jump. Alright, let's get back up to the side. I can't go too far away from the fire because it's still going. I let it die right down earlier. Let it sit for an hour. You would think it was out because there was like nothing left. And you throw some twigs on like that. It hasn't had anything on there for a while. See, I've just thrown a few bits of wood on there. So people think their campfires are out, but they're not. And all it takes is a bit of wood, a bit of fuel, and away it goes again. I have to say this is a good spot for a tent because I know it's under trees, and a lot of people will moan because camping under trees, you know, you're going to have a tree fall on you or whatever. The grass out there is so dry. There ain't no way I could have a fire out there. So, right, that'll do for now. I'll do some more later. See, that had been left, and it looked like it was completely out. Just the tiniest little bits of smoke. So you throw a few handfuls of twigs on the top, woof, away it goes. People are out camping and they I think they've just let their fire die down. That's why I always have the jug of water, and I just soak it. The baking pan works really good too, because that way you're not scouring the ground so much. It just gets hot. You're not burning into the ground at all. Because you can have a campfire like this, and you think it's out, and then a week later, because it's all burning in the material in the ground, and then a week later, woof, all bloody lot goes up. You can have literally have a forest fire a week after somebody had a campfire. Very important to make sure you soak all that stuff. I'll tell you that these trees, I got fed up tripping over this little tree. That's cooled down nicely. Yeah. It should be nice and cool for tonight. So it's supposed to be 12 degrees tonight, so that should be good. Well, time's moving on. It's probably 5-6 o'clock, I guess. Sun's heading round. We've probably got another, actually I don't know, maybe another 3 or 4 hours yet before the sun goes down. I don't know what time it gets dark now. Probably about 9ish, 10ish, something like that. There's a squirrel up there. Not very happy that I'm here. The wind has changed direction and it's blowing the campfire smoke towards where he lives. So he's all pissed off at me, I think. I'll let this die down a bit. It's done well, yeah. Haven't used hardly any of that pile. And still, the entire day, I have not seen or heard another single solitary person, not one. I'm taking care of that tree too. There's a lot of dead fallen on there, so that's nice little twigs. That's exactly what I want. But I don't want the big logs. I want the little twigs. Now, if this is not a good place to be, I don't know what is. I don't know if you can hear the creak in the bottom there, but it sounds really nice. There's a little drop, there's probably only about a foot, but it's enough to make a nice sound. I'll try and do some video later when it gets dark, but I'm not sure how well this camera will do in the low light. Seems to do alright in this. We've got a good few hours of light left, I guess. Squirrel's all pissed off. Sorry squirrel, can't change the direction of the wind. We keep getting strong winds coming through, so that's good. Clears all this out a bit. I'm going to let that die down. People think I'm crazy coming out here on my own, but it's actually been so quiet today. It's been absolutely amazing. Right. Time for a drink, I think. Well, we're getting towards the end of the day. Definitely starting to feel tired. I'll let the fire die down as much as I can. I've tidied all this crap up. Still got my water bottle there. Bear spray, need that. This is the time of day they tend to be active. And that one I saw this morning was down the bottom of this trail. So he might come back up through this way, depending on where he lives. They usually have quite a big range. But here we are again. If I had to guess, I'd say probably around 7ish, 6:30, 7 o'clock. I don't know, somewhere in there. And still not seen a single solitary person. This trail through the bottom of here is actually part of the Transcanada Trail, which is a trail network which basically goes from one side of the country all the way to the other. That's almost cold. It's just a pile of hot ash in there at the moment. I'm just trying to let that cool right down. I don't like leaving it just in case get the wind get up at night, blows it around. I'm going to dump all this water on there in a minute. The only trouble is once you put water on it, it all turns into like a yucky slurry. So I'd rather let it cool down as much as possible. Not a good sound though. Just the wind in the trees. A really cool spider web over there. I've been sitting watching this spider build this web. That's one advantage of being out somewhere like this. You don't have a lot to think about, just get on and let the day go by. There's a really cool spider web here. I don't know if it will come out very well, but the spider's been busy wandering around there making that. I've been sitting watching it, it's been slowly getting bigger. Bit of light flare through the trees there. The sun's getting ready. It'll be down behind the trees in probably half hour, 45 minutes. And it starts to get dark real fast. That's why I'm tidying up the campsite now, because it's a damn sight easier to do in the daylight than in the dark. Right, that's me for now. Well, here I am the following morning. It is Monday, and whoever made the forecast and said it was going to be 12 degrees last night was full of crap. That was a bloody freezing. If you could see me now, I actually have every item of clothing that I bought with me on. I got 2 pairs of trousers on, 2 pairs of socks, hats, jumpers, coats, got sweatshirts on, you name it, wrapped up like a crazy thing, and I'm still shaking. I wasn't going to light a fire this morning, but it was so bloody cold that I really had to. I didn't have much choice. That wasn't no bloody 12 degrees last night. Okay, so I've got a fire going. Not going to make a huge fire, just enough to defrost me. Do some breakfast. Not sure what I've got in the breakfast pot. I shall have a look. Some of these birds didn't shut up all night. The camera's dealing with that quite well. That's good. I didn't know how it would deal with this light like this. But... Right, let's put this away and I can get something to eat.